as we get in resumes and portfolios, that overall impression as you're looking at 10 at a time or whatever it is, there's obviously a lot of competition out there. The video game space has kind of blown up over the past 10 years, and there's a lot of competition for these jobs and to be in these roles. So what we find is, as we're going through, resumes and things like that, we're looking for distinctiveness. We're looking for, it's like the art of portfolio preparation, right? But people that really have a strong sense of who they are and what they're about, and what very specific skill set they're really putting in front of you. I say this to writers all the time. I don't know how applicable this is to, all your guys' skill set. How many writers are in the room? Okay, right on. What's up, y'all? Is that I did a talk a couple years ago at, was it AGDC?
Yeah.
In Austin?
It's online GDC or whatever.
GDC Online.
Right.
Talking to a room full of writers. And what occurred to me was, there's a lot of different kinds of writing you can do in the world. There's a lot of different kinds of writing that we need at our shop, and it's not always the same kind of thing. Like, I use this as an example, right? There's people that do really good technical writing. There's people that do really good dialogue. There's people that do really good, just deep prose. Like I used to love doing the video game manual stories, right? Old school D&D. And very rarely do all of those traits lie within the same person. Very rarely do they lie at a super sharp, laser fine level in the same body. So what I tell people over and over is just be really clear on who you are. Be really clear on what turns you on. Be really clear on how you want to apply your specific skill set. Because ultimately, if you put yourself in the place of a hiring manager these days, when they got slots to fill and they got product to get out and they are looking at a lot of resumes at any given time, it's so important that your resume, right, really communicate what you are passionate about. Certainly your training and schooling and work experience, but more importantly, I think, is who you are, what you're about, what your competency is, and how you're most passionate about applying that competency. And then it never hurts, and I don't know that this gets communicated a lot, but it really helps for hiring managers to understand what you're just really geeky about, what you're passionate about, right? What really turns you on, right?
You see, I came up in a totally different world, and a lot of it depends what you want to be. I mean, if you want to be something that's like a regular job that you can define, that's really true. You have to hone it in, define what you want to be, and get to be the best in the world at it. And it's not like, you always hear every generation whenever people come in, it's always like, it's really hard now, it's totally different, and it's different kind of hard, and people describe the criteria about how you're going to get into the industry, and like you realize nobody's ever going to get into the industry ever again for any reason. My first day, yards from here at the old, what was it was basically a converted stable or something. A lot of my life happened at converted stables. But anyway, there was the old film school at SC. They should have kept that around just because it was a bit like the House of Blues or something. But anyway, I remember, Jim Boyle, who like taught screenwriting. I don't know if he's still here, but he taught screenwriting like it was Camp Pendleton or something. And Tony Bill came in and said, I could come into 10 classes like this, and if maybe one of you is ever going to sell a script and make it in the business, I'd be lucky. It's not going to happen. Go home. He wasn't that rude, but close. And I'm looking around, and you have to look around and go, I wonder what these other people are going to be doing in 10 years. You kind of have to have that attitude, because if you really believe what people tell you, the absolute high probability you're going to fail. Okay, don't go. Don't get on the ride, or do something really focused that there's very low. I mean, you didn't sign up for the low risk ride here. And it was a different kind of hard then. The hard then was there were 7 studios and 3 networks and a little bit of independent stuff that usually involved orthodontists or, mythical Arab money. And that was, the only way you could get a movie made. And if you didn't sell one of those things, your project wasn't going to happen, I mean, I had one guy who was like, collecting golf balls out of what was it, LA Golf Club, and selling them, and that's how he's paying for his movie. I'm not making this up, and that's, but that's what was like coming out of film school. And where you guys have a huge advantage here, where you can break all of these rules, is in the old days, as I said, there were 7 studios and they controlled all the cameras, and you couldn't just like go out and get a 35 millimeter camera and over at Best Buy and go out and make a movie. It didn't work that way, and the lights and all that. Now, I mean, frankly, if your content's good enough, you can make product with your iPhone. Okay, with stuff that you all have. And it's not like, oh, there are 3 mafia-controlled studio chains, and you have to somehow get them to exhibit your film. You can put it on YouTube or even Machinima. Oh, sorry, that was a good cheap plug here. Anyway, so there's so many ways in the door now. I mean, it's all about. I mean, I'd say it's always all about just going out and do something. If you go out and do something, then you have something to show. I've never worked on a project that didn't one way or another pay off in the end.